Good morning, everyone. My name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thanks for joining me today for Flossmas 16 and 17. I took a break yesterday. So today's going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to open up 16 and 17. It is December 17th, 2024. And I will be opening up tiny presents. A couple from Forbidden Fiber Co., a couple from Dossier, and a couple from my friend Terri. I also have some stitching to show you. I have a finished object to show you. I have a pattern release to show you. And I have a little history lesson for you later on if you're interested. I'll put that at the end so you can skip if you want. And it has to do with my coffee. So I know you're very excited about that. Welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you for joining me. And welcome back everyone who's been with me for, the long haul. I appreciate it. And thank you to my patrons who are supportive, super supportive all the time and forgiving. And I appreciate that very much. I did post a freebie pattern for you all yesterday. So if you have not checked out Patreon, there's a little Christmas gifty, holiday, winter gifty for you. But let's start with Advents. I'm going to do them in sort of day order. So I'll do all of the 16th and then all of the 17th. And so for the Forbidden Fiber Co. Advent Calendar, it is reindeer games themed. And on even days, you get a little envelope with a floss and a piece of the pattern with that floss in it. So let's see what we have here. Ooh, it's a sort of a taupey. This isn't quite beige. It's a taupey and it's called Young Buck. And if you go to Forbidden Fiber Co. Instagram page, she's been posting as we've been stitching. So let's see where this is. I'm assuming this is in reindeer because we definitely have a couple reindeer happening here in these reindeer games. So let's see what we have. This is Young Buck so Young Buck is in antlers. Underside of antlers and an underside of deer legs. And we have a full deer now. So Young Buck is also part of one of the deer. So we have one full deer and one partial deer. And then we have some snow and we have a border. So I think this is just going to be sort of like reindeer and snow. I might actually stitch this one. I kind of like this. I think it's cute. All right, so that is Forbidden Fiber Co., day 16. And just to show you our current color scheme, this is where we are. And the fabric is called Snow Monster. It is a 36 count Edinburgh linen. That's where we are. Our next Advent is from Dossier, and it is a perfume Advent. And we are on day 4 of this. I have to say that my little corner here smells really nice when I walk in. So let's see what we have today. Today we have Free the Musk. So it's musk themed. And what I do is I rip off the door and I spray it on that before spraying it on me to make sure that I actually want to wear it. And if I want to wear both of them, I'm putting one on each wrist today. That's really nice. I like it. Now, I don't have a sensitive nose where I can tell different things. I can tell main things, but could never be like a sommelier or a perfumer. So we're going to spray this on my left wrist and miss. And we'll see how it is at the end of the show. So they're also kind of a nice size. They're not samples, but they're not travel sizes. They're like somewhere in between. It doesn't say how much is in there. So that is for Free the Musk. I'm going to take a little sip of coffee. And also sniff my coffee to reset my nose. All right. And then we have my advent calendar from my friend Terri, which is all caught in itself. So we are here, and it is day 4. So it's this cute little package. Oh, there's a little chocolate inside. A little freebie chocolatey gifty. I don't know if you can see. It's underneath the tree. Thank you. Love it. I do love a tiny little, like a little chocolatey treat every once in a while. Delightful. All right, what do we have today? Ooh, it's a counting pin. Isn't that beautiful? I love counting pins. I think they're so pretty. And I was just messing around with my travel box and I saw my counting pins. I'm like, oh, that's nice. In some cultures, ladybugs are commonly known as a symbol of good luck and protection. I hope this little lady brings you luck throughout the year. Thank you so much. Look at her. That'll be my screenshot. Oh, that's so beautiful. Did you make that or did you buy that? That's beautiful. That is lovely. Thank you so much. So that was the 16th. Let's do the 17th. Ooh, see, it smells very different on my arm. It smells sort of citrus and powder. That's fine. So day 17 of the Forbidden Fiber Co. Advent Calendar is a gifty because it's an odd day. This was a very well sealed envelope. Oh, cute. It is a needle threader. A needle threader. Very nice with 2 buttons on it. That's nice. You have to have something on these because they will disappear. They will go wherever single socks go and never come back. Use this Christmas themed threader to take the guesswork out of getting your needle threaded. Did you know in 1979, the We Are Santa's Elves number was cut entirely from the special for reasons unknown, but it was restored in the 1980s. I don't remember. Oh, when they're all working. I got it. Yeah, so this is my gifty for today. A little needle threader. Very cute. Very cute. I will put that in my bag. So that is the 17th. And we are caught up with that. My Forbidden Fiber Co. Now, let's do number 5. In Dossier. Ambery vanilla. Not a huge vanilla fan. So we'll see. I don't know that I will put this on my body. And vanilla tends to stay on me a lot. That's not terrible. It's very light. I'm not getting much vanilla. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Let's see. Okay. Put it on. We'll see. Whew, we are a very fragrant corner. Oh, I think I got some in my mouth. We're a very fragrant corner. Yeah, it doesn't smell as good on, but I'm going to sniff my coffee to reset my nose. When I was in Spain in May for study abroad, I'll just leave it up here. When I was in Spain in May for study abroad, we were in Granada for a little over 2 weeks, and there were 2 perfume shops. One was like a tiny little one at the top of a hill in a very touristy area. And they had sort of like pure essential oils, so I bought a bunch of them, like super concentrated. And then there was a really fancy perfumery down by the river, right across the kind of river from the Alhambra. And it was just overwhelming how much scent was there. And so, of course, they had coffee to smell, but at points, like, I had to leave and like walk around the block to like not smell it anymore, to like reset my nose. All right, let's sniff it now. I feel like it's in my nose. I don't know that I'll ever wear that. But it's not, I don't smell vanilla. I smell amber. But the vanilla is probably going to come down on the dry down. It's called the dry down when it fades. Ha! Okay, good. And then for my Terri Advent, here is 5. And it's flat. It's flat. It's pronounced wooder. Okay, so I say water, but Terri is from the Philadelphia area, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And in the Philadelphia area, they say wooder. At least some people do. So like my cousin lived in Philly for her sort of formative years and then still lives in the area. And they say wooder, and that's hilarious. So water or wooder, it's pronounced wooder. That's hilarious. Enough said. Hilarious. That is hilarious. I love it so much. Hilarious. I actually have a friend here whose mom until recently lived 5 miles from my mom. It's wild. So he's also from the Philadelphia area. So he sounds like my family, and it's kind of great when I talk to him because it just like reminds you of like my brother. All right, that is all of my Advents. This is going to be a long one, as you have already seen. Now let's talk stitching. I did work on my Cosmic Egg yesterday. No, 2 days ago. I did not work on it yesterday because yesterday I did sewing, and I'll show you what I finished. But all I have left is that one little lump right there, and then I need to go around with the dark green and kind of blend it a little bit. And then those lumps are done, and then I'm going to work on these guys here, and then I'll do the moon, and then I'll outline everything in black. So my hope is by the end of the month to have this section here completed, and maybe even these stars. That would be awesome. That would be really cool if I had those stars done as well. So that's where I am on that. And then today I'm going to work on, and I might finish that kind of little nubby today, like finish the clouds today. But what I'm going to focus on today is Stitchy Knot Tees Elemental Dragons Fire, which is part of my Ink Circles Round Robin, because I haven't touched this in a few days. And I will show you where we are in that. This is where we are. And this is my quadrant down here. So I will work on that today a little bit, probably this evening. And that will be very nice. I do have reading to do because I have a book award meeting on Friday, and I haven't finished all the books in order to know whether who should win the award. What I finished is part of my sister's Christmas gift, and it's wonky, and I had to rip it out multiple times, but I did it. I finished it. It is finished. So if you're watching, Diana, look away. But I made her a hot pad for a, like to put on your table and you put like a casserole dish on it or something. So I made her a hot pad. She has another, this is half of the present. She has another piece too that I purchased, but yeah, so the back is, that blue. It is Quilt As You Go, which is the first time I've ever done that technique, and I used the new machine, so it's the first time I used the new machine. So there's a lot of newness happening with this, but I only had to rip it out 4 or 5 times. This half here, I had to rip out twice. I had to rip every stitch out. Like it's split, so I had to like redo the whole thing, and that's why that is narrower on that side, because I was really nervous. I don't know how these aren't coming undone, but they're not, and I might like go over it, stitch it down in the middle. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I might stitch it down the middle just to give it a little bit more sturdiness, maybe, so it doesn't like move. I don't know. So that is my first ever quilt as you go hot pad. That's for my sister. So that's what I finished yesterday. I also posted, and I did not do a pattern release party video. I just could not make myself film a video yesterday. It was just really kind of nice to have a break. But I released my Snowflake Serenity pattern. So secret giveaway. If you would like this pattern as a gift, as a giveaway gift, say tree in the description in a comment down below, and I will do a drawing probably on Thursday. It's Tuesday. I'll do a drawing on Christmas morning. I'll do a drawing Christmas morning, and my Christmas video, which I will film while I'm away, I will announce the winner for Snowflake Serenity. And this is the pattern that was in the Just Cross Stitch magazine Christmas 2024 special edition. And I really love it. And the thing I love about it is, first of all, and I've talked about the pattern before, but it just feels good to me. And all of these snowflakes are in the various elements. So it's sort of like, it's like the snow is like falling and imbuing these other elements with its coldness and beauty and serenity and whatnot. So if you would like this pattern, PDF of this pattern, put a tree in a comment down below, and I will send that to you. What else? I have a freebie for you, and then I have a history lesson. Freebie first, then history lesson. So your freebie for today is kind of a weird one. It's from DMC, but DMC just digitized some of their like old vintage patterns, especially the ones by Terri Dilmont. I don't know. It should be French because they're a French company, and Terri is definitely French. But it is called Ski and Skate. And it's these two weird people. Apparently, she was really known for figural depictions. So you have a woman figure skater and a androgynous person, supposed to be probably a boy, skiing. I mean, either of them could be any gender, honestly, but when she made them, I'm sure she made a man and a woman. But yeah, there are very few colors. It looks like only 3 colors. A little bit of back stitching in legs and hands and face. Isn't that weird, but also kind of amazing? So this is free on the DMC website. Yeah, and it is literally 3 colors. Is it 3 colors or 4? No, it's 4 colors because there's black also. Yeah, it's... Oh no, it is just 3 colors. It's black, kind of a slatey blue, and a red. Yeah, 310, 349, and 518. But you could do it any colors, obviously. Anyway, I just thought that this was so weird. I wanted to share it with you. So that is your freebie of the day. Skate and Ski vintage DMC pattern. And you can find that in the description box, the link to that in the description box down below. You can also find a link to my patterns, temperature patterns, and historical patterns, and this pattern, and also my new lady with a secret, my medieval marginalia pattern. They're all down below as well. But if you want to win that Snowflake Serenity, say tree. All right, history lesson. So I put a little cardamom in my coffee today because I do love me some cardamom in coffee. Cardamom is my favorite spice. Do you have a favorite spice? I always wonder this because it's not something that people think about all the time, but tell me your favorite spice if you have a favorite spice. You can put it like, just say tree, my favorite spice is, and then tell me. But cardamom is my favorite spice. And I love cardamom because it reminds me of Christmas and baking with my grandmother. So we would make she was Norwegian. We would make a Norwegian rolled cookie, sort of flat cookie rolled, and you do it in iron, called krumkake. And you can flavor it in various ways, but we always flavored it with cardamom. And cardamom is super popular in Scandinavian desserts. It is not very popular elsewhere in Europe. And in other parts of the world, like in the Middle East and India in particular, it's popular in savory cooking. But I think of it as a dessert spice because of how I grew up. And you might be wondering, you're probably not wondering, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You might be wondering why Scandinavia uses cardamom and like no one else does. Well, there's a whole history of spices. There's a great book called Out of the East by Paul Friedman. I'll put a link to it down below, or at least I'll write it down below, where he talks about the history of spices. He doesn't talk about cardamom. He mostly focuses on like nutmeg and pepper and sugar. But it's a great book. I have my students read it all the time in many of my classes. But what you may not know is that the Vikings went everywhere. So the Vikings came from Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, and they went everywhere throughout Europe. And into Eastern Europe and into the Middle East. They went everywhere. And we often talk about them as like in England, not colonizing, but there was no one there. In Iceland, taking over Normandy in France. That's why it's called Normandy, Northmen. They, spent a lot of time in Ireland, and they kind of messed around in Northern Europe. But they also went through Russia, what is modern day Ukraine actually, into the Black Sea and into the Eastern Mediterranean. Okay? Because Europe is really interesting as it has vast networks of navigable rivers. There are navigable rivers all throughout Europe in a way that there aren't in other parts of the world. Other parts of the world have like one or two like lifeline rivers, but Europe has crisscross networks of navigable rivers. And so the Vikings could sail from the North Sea, from the Baltic Sea, to through Eastern Russia, modern day Ukraine. They had to portage a little bit, and then they could get into the Black Sea and into the Mediterranean from an eastern route. So the Vikings essentially settled throughout Eastern Europe and facilitated trade from the Middle East to Scandinavia through modern day Kiev. In fact, the Russians, the Rus, were Vikings. The Kievan Rus were Vikings in the Middle Ages, and they kind of took over that area, and they assimilated, but they were in control of that area for a very long time. So that's why. So then cardamom, back to cardamom. So that's why we have this like direct cardamom connection between Scandinavia and the Middle East, and India also kind of as part of that. When we don't have it in the rest of Europe, there are other reasons why also that connect with the spice trade and the decline of spices in European cooking, which has a historical reason for it. But yeah, so cardamom in my coffee is Norwegian and also East African and Middle Eastern. There you go, your little history lesson for the day about Vikings. But check out of the East if you're at all interested in the history of spices. It's a very readable book. It is geared towards, it's not quite public history or popular history, but it's not academic. I give it to my students and they love it. They love that book. So if you're interested, Out of the East by Paul Friedman. All right, that's it from me. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a bit of a long one, but I hope that you will forgive me. It's been 2 days. I will see you tomorrow with day 18 of Advent opening. And hopefully I'll have more stitching and gifty finishes to show you. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please take good care of yourselves and happy Flossmas. Bye.